Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the TCS eSports League. I was expecting a countdown more than anything else before I got brought back into this one, but regardless, we're into our third series of the day, and it's going to be between the boys over at the E-LVETS side versus Servette Geneva. Once again, I'm Switchblade J. Joining me is Digital Bacon, and this is another case of a match between a top 4 team versus a bottom 4 team. But for E-LVETS, it's a case of trying to stay above the likes of the Monks side, because obviously Monks just won their second series of the tournament, and now for E-LVETS that could put them down in dead last.
Yeah, that is it. E-LVETS here. I don't think it can't put them down in dead last. It can't. They're safe in 7th this week. That's the difference. Is they've got to get the points here, because there is currently, I do believe, 5-goal differential between these two sides. So, you know, a 3-0 loss here for E-LVETS means it then goes to a 2-goal differential. You don't want that. E-LVETS currently have a nice little game buffer, but a win's a win. And if they do get that 3-0 sweep, if they do, then they tie up with Masters. E-LVETS here can have a lot of room to grow. And of course, seeding, like I said, which is this is what's most important for these teams in the bottom half. Going into that relegation tournament, that seeding is going to be massively important, because of course you want your easiest way back into league play next season.
Absolutely. So another crucial match for the E-LVETS side, but against Servette Geneva, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have much faith, unfortunately. They did play them in week 5, where it actually was one of the closer matches we had over that particular week. A 3-2 to the favour of Servette Geneva. So I think that E-LVETS do have a chance in this one. Unfortunately, I just think that, again, I gotta go with my head rather than my heart on this one, because I just think the Servette are just that step up. They're one of the 2 teams that I regard as like the best teams in the entire league. So I'm going with Servette on predictions of this one. What do you think?
I'm going to be joining you. Yeah, it's got to be Servette. I know last week they weren't the strongest, we shall say, but they definitely put on a show, and they can definitely win this one. Just looking at the results from last week, like I said, 3-0 against Arctic. As we already said, Flav away doing military service, so of course it's a big loss for them. But they're a strong enough team, and it was Arctic last week. This is E-LVETS. This is a different caliber. Unless E-LVETS really show up, it is all down to Servette to win it.
Yeah, let's see whether they can actually do it right now. Obviously, it seems like we're ready to get straight into the matchup, or at least we're ready to get into the matchup. The players are memeing, so
yeah, they're just memeing too hard. They're too busy, Jay.
Literally, we joined on the server, and they were just like,
we didn't.
Oh, we do have Flav.
Okay. Yeah, Servette 3-0 sweep. Let's do this. Let's go, Jay. Take it away.
Instant change of your predictions already. Servette will be on the back foot though, as the E-LVETS side maintain their pressure into that corner and off that backboard. They did get the first shot opportunity. So Otter, a fantastic pinch off the challenge. E-LVETS kick things off. What was that? 3-0 sweep, Bacon?
Shut up, Jay. You're a dirty memer like the players. Let's play it out, okay? It's 1 goal. It's not Monks versus Arctic. 1 goal isn't going to hurt this one, or so I think. Anyway, 2 goals from Otter though, nearly. Good.
Very, very nice aerial dribble. Just went a little bit too far wide to the right-hand side by the point of the matter. Now Sack will pass the Flav and try to see if they can put that first shot on for Servette, but not going to quite work. Getting our demos and the contact plays coming in towards the midfield and the back line. Otter demoing out Servette, going to try to push him out, but Flav still in position alongside Sack, and actually Servette respawns back into a perfect position. He'll get a good shot off the crossbar. Now try and follow it through with a secondary redirect that Sack will take anyway. Coming in for the third man is Flav, but he can't get the shot that he needs. The defense over on the E-LVETS side ramps back up. They hold it down here into that midfield. The ball will play once again.
Ramps back up. They just left that. That was more down to an error from Servette, if we're going to be absolutely harsh and honest about it. E-LVETS turning up in the attack. They've got to be careful. They cannot allow little errors like that, because Servette will not just walk over. Same can be said for Servette, it seems. These lads today on this pitch don't really take defense into consideration, it seems.
Oh, and there we go. They have lost out on a second goal. 2 scored by Otter. 2-0 on the board. These boys over here in the midfield. It's a fair passing over to Sak into the corner. It back down into the box itself. Arku takes it away. Is a fair. Passing back in to Sak now. Otter takes control of it. Flav getting another good shot off the backboard of the blue side of the pitch. Really trying to push it back away. Sak with a nice redirection. There we go. Servette do find a way to thread the needle, get the first on the board.
Yeah, great little play here from Flav, all the way up, put on a very tricky save there for Lepre to get away. It was just really well read there from Sak to put it into the net. Easy little follow through. Game tightens. Definitely, this is going to be goal after goal after goal, I reckon.
This might end up being, but Sak is going to get denied by Lepre here, so 1 goal taken away by the E-LVETS side this time around as they try and keep their defensive going. We'll go back into that corner of the orange side of the pitch. Sak gets challenged by Lepre, maintains the pressure going. Flav now on a return fire position, going to try and walk off of the clear coming in from his teammates. Otter will do the vice versa same. Sak going to get off the backboard. Very awkward touch, but Servette comes through and just saves to challenge Otter at point blank towards that box. Arku and Lepre still going to try and maintain that control here in the midfield. It's Sak to take it all the way forward into the corner. Misses out with the boost. Arku challenged by Sak again, sets up Flav for a good shot, but it does not go in. 2 players there to defend it, keeps things at 2-1 past the halfway marker.
Look at the attack ramping up as well from Servette. They're angry now that they're down in this game. They're looking to just put on a lot of pressure. Seemingly working now. You can definitely see they've got all the control, definitely got the control of the midfield line, and they will look to now hammer home a shot and get a goal. Or Sak might not, I don't know. He seems to have other plans.
Yeah, rotating back out of that net. I don't think he was ready for that. Oh, but crucial misses. This will be Sak to try and recover. Second one off the backboard. Flav will come through, but challenged 50-50 by Arku. Keeps it rolling out of the blue half. A very crucial mistake from Sak that he couldn't recover. Now sets up on the counter attack over on the E-LVETS side. Quickly returned over to that midfield. Otter challenge will put it off the backboard. Lepre going to try and follow it through with the aerial. He's got plenty of boost to do so. As meanwhile, Sak will get demoed out. So Fair takes the control. No! A challenge on the defense scores the own goal for the favor of Servette.
Right, whoever in chat thought this was going to be a normal game of Rocket League, you can just get out, because this so far has not played by any rulebook, has not played by any script. We're just throwing stuff at the wall here and seeing what sticks. 4 goals already down. I'm expecting this one to finish with 6.
Ball back into the center here on the blue half. 2-2 on the board with a minute left to go on the clock. Sak, ooh, Lepre with a nice interception, but Flav will come back around and hold on towards it in this corner. It's a fair. Alongside Sak, passing in, backboard touch, Sak with a secondary follow-up, goes right in the back of the net. Perfectly controlled, so they're a little bit slow to start, but now they are rolling on through.
Proper surprise stuff here from Sak with the flip. Look, normally from those, you're expecting him to go up and just quite standardly hit it with the bumper of his car, the very front of that back of the mill, but no, he goes for the dodge, flips into it and makes it just such an awkward shot that they were not expecting at the defense.
There it is, 40 seconds on the clock, a 3-2 lead for the Servette side. They're going to try and keep this going. The backboard touch is just taken away by Sak. Lepre still going to get a good shot. The bump play comes through, but he can't get a second touch. Instead, Arku will find it and just turn it back to evens. E-LVETS not going down without a fight.
You missed a really good rhyme there, Jay. The bump play comes through, and it's Arku to get the goal. You missed out there, buddy. I expect better from you.
I don't even
No
know.
response.
I don't have a response for that. Not all of my casting is rap god, but Otter is the shot god as he gets the 3rd on the board for himself, a hat trick to put E-LVETS back in the lead.
Yeah, E-LVETS here weren't waiting around to get the lead. They pulled it back up onto par, and then Otter wants that hat trick. 20 seconds left. It now all comes down to Servette to get that 8th goal up on the board.
10 seconds remaining. Servette maintain that presence. Flav passing it to the centre. Lupri takes control on the interception. Sack gets another good pinch. Fair going to try to go for a shot. Oh my God! He's found the ankle. Servette, how do you do it?
Yeah, that happened. Fantastic passing play lined up Safir in the center. I do not know why the defenders of E-LVETS got so cocky to allow that net to be open. But in overtime, this series is just gonna, it will deliver.
Oh, deliver, it already has, mate. I don't know what you're saying, it will deliver. It has delivered, and it continues to deliver time and time again. High-scoring 8-goal game in overtime to start off this best of 5. It's only game 1. Early kickoff advantage for Servette. We'll try and see if they can put this together. Sack just following the ball all the way through, come back off a Flav. Followed through by Sack, not quite. It will get returned now by the E-LVETS side as RQ takes it all the way down range. It's a fair back into the corner and back off the backboard as well. Backed up by Flavs. Lupri will get demoed out of play. It's sacked back into the blue corner. Arku intercepts, centered up for Zafir. Otter carries it all the way through with an aerial dribble, a redirect chance. Not going to happen. It's point blank range. Arku will also be wide. Lupri comes in with a shot, but it's not going to happen. E-LVETS will be unable to score the 1 goal that breaks it in overtime.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Servette cannot get onto this ball and keep control of it. As soon as it gets to that midfield line, E-LVETS can pick it up once again. It's because E-LVETS coming in and stealing the boost. They're not forcing their presence essentially onto their opponents, but what they are doing is forcing the boost control. It's a very odd situation for both these teams and a massive overcommitment. Oh no, indeed.
And as you say, it's the overcommitment from Zafir and the rest of Servette. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a major problem. And again, you kind of just saw it as soon as they saw all those blue players on the midfield. It was like, uh-oh. That's a problem. And there you go, E-LVETS 5-4 on the board for game number 1. What a way to start things off. Well, where's that Servette Geneva sweep there, Bacon?
Well, we just had 1 upset. Just going to put it out there, 1 upset with Monks coming out with a win. What about 2 upsets today, Jay, with E-LVETS getting the win here? How would you fancy that?
I mean, I wouldn't be complaining, that's for certain. I mean, I don't mind who wins, to be honest.
None of us are losing here. It's just the players, you know? So, as spectators, it's win-win for us. So, let's just see how this one plays out. There's 5 games. We've already knocked 1 down. Let's just see what happens to the rest of them.
It's game 2 for E-LVETS to go to match point. For Servette, it's to avoid that match point as they play into the mid position. It's Flav with the ball off the backboard. Secondary touch will not come through from Arku. Sack goes in, bounce it off the ceiling to come through on a 1 player. Flav alongside Sack into the mid control, into the corner control. It's Affair, chipping it up 1 more time, and it's a secondary touch off this backboard. A chance being taken now for the Servette side as they try and get their shots in, but it's just denied at every chance. Now Arku gonna go for a flip reset, double touch off this backboard. Not gonna happen. Lupri and Otter are going to get pushed, well, the ball's going to get pushed away from their angle, out into open space for the Servette side as they are able to maintain this ball presence, but not for much longer. Lupri with a demo, finally does get cleared back by Zafir. Followed through again by Otter as he tries to clear it right back and follows it past all the defending players. The rotations have got to come through. It's a dangerous ball right now for Servette. Lupri will try and prove that by taking a shot, but challenge 50-50. This will not be centered up, so 60 seconds in, no goals to be scored by neither the E-LVETS or Servette Geneva.
Otter today has just been an absolute nuisance for Servette with these 50-50s. RQ as well, if you haven't noticed, has been just stealing boosts like an absolute rotter. E-LVETS are playing this game not standard, as I said earlier. It's all because they're just being nuisances and making this super awkward and uncomfortable for Servette to deal with. E-LVETS, I wouldn't say it's the smartest tactic ever, but it is definitely the slyest and most cunning one I've seen ever.
Ball back into the orange corner now. Zafir and Flav. Challenge for control. Lupri pops it into the center where Otter's there to take the redirect, but challenged by another player back to the right-hand side means that this will not end up working out. Ball now in the center. It's Otter. Shot directly on target. Arku to follow through and try and out-fake Zafir, but Zafir challenges for it. So the 100 boost allows Sak and Flav to take control as they clear it back downfield. Still yet to see a goal scored by either side. Otto going to try and change that. Demo's out Flav, but that puts the ball high rather than straight. Kept putting that one right there. Otto with a redirect. Nice chip up. Very close. Sak can't get the clear back. Arku will try and recover it. Lupri comes through as everyone commits forward. And E-LVETS get the first on the board.
Yeah, scramble defense. Look at that initial triple commit. Then a double. And then no one home. Lupri just going to be able to put that away. First one up on the board for this game, number 2, which so far, Jay, 1 goal compared to the, 9 in the end from game number 1. A big, big difference.
2 minutes and 30 on the clock. We're at the halfway marker already. It's 1 goal scored by the E-LVETS side. Again, another opening banger. Can Servette turn it around? They've got the ball back into the mid position. Sak taking it. Otter challenge. Flav, good shot on target. Arku reads it though. They would have received back into that blue half. Now Zafir and Sak do the exact same in the midfield. But can they set up a shot? Sak will take it out towards the corner. Set up Zafir for a good dunk down. It's directly on the line. He can't follow it through. Arku will get it out. And Servette, their best shot at taking a goal, completely denied by the E-LVETS defensive, as they just keep presence back over towards that blue half. Sak will try and set something up alongside Flav as it goes into the centre. A good shot, bombs come through, and the first is finally scored by the Servette side.
Yeah, you can see definitely the difference when Servette are allowed to play with boost and play more structured like they want to. Passing plays coming out over the Flav into wall, lining up with Sak perfectly. This is what Servette want, and it is what E-LVETS are trying to stop. No
way! All right then. Fair play, boys.
Happens. Sometimes you just, you turn off for a little bit, Jay. You switch off, try and conserve a little bit of energy, and then regret it afterwards. 2-1 now, the scoreline. Servette suddenly stepping it up.
Suddenly. All of a sudden. That's the key word of the moment.
Oh, they are
Took a little bit of time to get started in game 1 and vice versa for game 2. Once again, E-LVETS try and find a bit of pressure in towards that orange corner. It is finally cleared out by Zafir, who passes back in. A Sak perfectly played, but Arku again denies it. Bump plays coming through. Lupri actually might be able to get a goal off the back of this. Close, but no cigar. Zafir still in the danger box, maintains that control and kicks it back out towards the halfway midfield position. 60 seconds left to go on the clock. It's Sak. Into the corner, Flav going for the boost. Zafir just going to try and keep it away from blue side players. E-LVETS unable to set up a shot. Arku completely missing on that one. Now Sak will challenge for the ball control. It goes back to the midfield once again. He keeps that ball rolling in towards the blue corner. It's Arku to the midfield. Sak with a nice redirect. This one will go off the backboard. Otter pushes it away. Zafir just maintains that presence here. 30 seconds remaining. Right now it's E-LVETS that have all the pressure against them. They need a goal right here, right now, if they want to try and keep control of game 2. Might have to be going towards the game at 3 to try and get that match point instead. Flav demoing out Otto, taking out one of the midfield players. Now the ball will go dangerously in front of that box, in front of that net. The final 10 seconds do tick by. Good challenges and tackles from Servette, just going to keep all their control. Flav passing in towards Sak. He'll get a shot. Lupri will just about get the save, but the ball bounces the floor once. Can't bounce again. Arku, Otter trying to find a way in. Zafir gets a passing play off the backboard. It will touch the floor, and Servette Geneva will take game 2.
A really, really clean finish there for Servette to take game number 2. You'll notice E-LVETS there towards the end didn't know how to get the ball down to their opponent's end of the field. They were struggling, Jay. And it's all because Servette just played it nice and structured. Putting that pressure on by sending 2 players downfield, one to attack the ball, one on the very opposite side. So basically your route out is covered, and then they would have that third player really far back into their own half. In case there's just a long shot downfield, he's able to pick it up. They weren't worrying about getting a goal. They were just pressuring effectively, and you saw at the end, they would rather go for the backboard instead of dropping it down, because you can definitely bet that Safir, he could have dropped that ball if he wanted in the net.
Yeah, I got close towards it in several particular instances, actually close towards it on so many instances there for the Servette Geneva side. We're playing back into this next game. This one is for match point, so a pretty crucial one to take overall. And this squad here on Servette, although they were the favourites going into this one, you know, you quickly turned it around as soon as you realised that Flav was in the team. They have had the challenge against them, as most of the favourites have had today, so. Game 3, pretty crucial one again for Servette Geneva. They can lose the early kickoff advantage, but do gain the follow-up and the first attacking opportunity here in the blue half. Zafair, alongside Sack, will now get a good chance to score a goal. Zafair back into the box, it's very, very close. Arku and Otto gonna quickly swing back around each other. Flav missing on towards one. Arku will come in with a redirect off this backboard. It's dangerous for Lupri to come back to Fair. Reads it perfectly. He'll put it in front of the net. And Arku will be set up by Lupri to score the first for E-LVETS.
Yep, unfortunate there, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. Well done from Lupri to react like that. And Arku would have had to been called in so hard. Like, that is a proper risky play, and it paid off.
Paid off, it did. E-LVETS now back off the backboard for another defensive play. Zafair is going to get past everybody and score an equaliser just as quickly for Servette.
Yeah, great response here. Of course, getting the first goal is always of massive importance in the game because it sets the tone. But a quick response like that actually is even stronger because it just shows that you're not going to be broken mentally by your opponents getting the upper hand straight away.
All in from Sack, tries to control it. Here's Zafair, takes it away from him, trying to outplay the E-LVETS side. Flav back in the back lines, will be able to disrupt the defensive, allow some time for the rotations to come through as they chip it up. That actually sets up Lupri for a fantastic shot. Otto going to come in for the secondary dunk down. Oh my word, E-LVETS. What a frantic opening minute they've had.
What an evening so far as well. E-LVETS have been putting on just a smorgasbord of skill. Otto today, Jay, is probably playing the best I've ever seen him play.
Yeah, he is just off on one tonight, man. He is doing incredible stuff in the offense for the E-LVETS squad. And certainly one of the players that is certainly a decent shout for an MVP award for this matchup today, Bacon. As right now, E-LVETS remain in the lead in no small part thanks to his efforts. Ball go back around, see if Arku can set things up for Otto. Lupri going to be the next man to challenge. Otto will remain in the midfield. They get it past him. Sack will follow all the way through Arku, coming around the long way to come in clutch and just maintain control of the scoreline. 2-1 still up for the E-LVETS side. That could have been 2-2, and they will keep attacking and trying to gain control of the scoreline. Finally out towards the midfield, Arku will get a little bit of breathing room, dribbling around everybody. Can't get it past anybody, unfortunately. Sack will be able to get a good shot. Lupri with a nice chip, though. Turns a 3-1 to the favour of the blue side of the court.
A nice chip. Is that just what you call this? This was blooming brilliant. Straight on past Safir, up and over the last man. Lupri just getting everything and a side on that.
There we go, a 2-goal lead. I think the most confident lead we've seen from anyone so far here in this series. Really just goes to show how close they've been all game long and all series long so far. As Otter sets up Lupri, who sets up Otter again. Coming through is Arku to the recovery. Hold the ball down inside that box, it's Zafair. Try to challenge. Otter set up a fantastic redirect that goes a little bit too far left, so not a chance on this one. Flav instead is going to put a nice boomer down directly in front of the net, but unable to follow it all the way out. Lupri again gets that save. Sack chips it over to the center field. Arku is allowed full control here with loads of room to breathe. 2 minutes and 20 on the clock. We're past that halfway marker. It's still E-LVETS in with a 2-goal lead so far. We'll get returned back finally. Chance again as the ball gets sent up. Lupri going in for a shot. Otter Trying to play the assistance field this time, but doesn't quite work out for the way that the E-LVETS wanted it to. Servette will punish and clear and get a fantastic shot from the midfield line.
This shuts me up straight away because I was looking at this going, the lads of Servette are going for too many straight up solo plays on their opponent's net. They need to be passing, linking up a little bit more, and then Safir comes out with that. Just the absolute opposite of what I would recommend. No, a strong solo play is what he decided was best course of action here, and well, it did work out. 1 goal separating these two teams now.
Minute and 50 to go. Lupri back off into the corner. Sack challenged by Arku, who gets a secondary touchdown, but can't get the redirect momentum that he needs. All 3 players commit to this to get the clear out. Fortunately, it was successful, so they're allowed a chance to rotate back in case they get broken through once again. Lupri will pass to Arku, and E-LVETS turning the switch up to 11, looking so good against Servette Geneva.
Yeah, a 3-on-1 situation there. Nothing you can do if you're in net. You've got to be able to put yourself in between that second man and the goal. And when they've got a whole goal to shoot upon, you've just got to hope they aim it at you.
Well, back into the center again. Servette win out the early kickoff advantage, but they lose the chance to get things together and get another goal on the back of the board. Lupri challenging for controlling that midfield. Sack's got to set something up. A challenge by Arku will put it back over to that orange side. Lupri will follow it through, but he's got no boost. Arku will still get a decent shot on target. A Flav will be able to save. Otto good pinch, a fair good redirect back out. He's just going to leave it on Flav's part. A bit of an over-rotation punished by Servette. They're back within 1. They're not out of this game just yet.
Yep, 1 goal, 1 minute as well, Jay. Still incredibly doable for Servette.
They were able to fair as well.
Damn, didn't actually notice that. He's been turning up on the striking side of things. Definitely Flav and Sack a little bit more quieter, but it feels like it's more because they've had to sit back in defense a lot more.
Well, a lot of these goals have been enabled by Flav, so he's still being a pretty key component of Servette, and obviously he was the main linchpin that turned your prediction back around, Bacon, so credit to him and credit to Sack as well, still holding things down, still being that solid third player that they need. But they're still a goal behind. 30 seconds left, ball off the backboard. Zafir and Sack run into each other, almost costing them that chance now. Flav will try and take control away. Ball sent it up towards the box. Sack will pass back to Zafir. He needs to get a good booming clear. Will be successful alongside Flav back here. Zafir going to keep that one rolling. Flav's out of boost. Sack will come through another redirect shot, but it goes a little bit too far left side. 10 seconds remaining. Flav dunks it down. Lupri holds onto it, keeping things in control of E-LVETS, clearing it back over to the orange half. It will be Zafir to take control alongside Sack in the midfield. He will maintain this ball a little bit high on the crease, but surely their chances should be up. Zafir will pass back in. Sack with another chance. Flav coming through, and he's a little bit too off position. E-LVETS take match points.
Yeah, on to match point they go, and upset is waiting to happen. We've already received 1, and this one is set. It looks like it's going to be the second. E-LVETS really putting in the work today. Servette just don't feel like they've got chemistry going for them. They don't seem to be communicating. I've noticed a lot of bumps between the players. They're covering the same ground. They're not rooting themselves effectively, or at least they're not talking about it. It seems like they're just chilling into this game. They're not that stressed. I know for them, you know, a loss here isn't going to cost them. They're pretty much secured into land. But we're talking about seeding here, dude. You do not want to be 3rd or 4th seed going into that, because then you have to go up against the strongest two. No, they want to come out top or 2nd to be able to give their best chances to make it through to the finals and have a shot at the big money.
Yeah, E-LVETS just trying to hold on to that dream, trying to hold on to that upset potential and put Servette on the back foot for that land. This will be one hell of a way to upset them, at least get a little bit of a consolation prize, knowing that it's left to go for relegation playoffs later on. But again, a nice victory against the top 2 team in the league. That will still be a nice bit on the records for them. So let's see if they can do it right here, right now. They're 2-1 up, so that needs to take a mini reverse sweep to turn this to their favor. It's RQ and Lupri to start things off. Good chip from RQ, trying to follow it towards a seconds affair. Will take control back in towards this corner, trying to go for a reverse flip reset off the ground. Couldn't quite get it all done. As Otter and Arku take control back into the center. Lupri with a good shot. Flav will return it. Otter keeps that control. Enough boost to go for the full-blown aerial shot. Pushed away by Servette, fortunately avoiding any amount of disaster here for Servette in the early 30 seconds, but they're still going to be on the back foot. Close shots coming back. Arku couldn't get the redirect. Otter will try for it off this backboard. Flav will push it away. Follow through alongside Zafir, now get the shot in, passing towards a player that's not on the other side of the net. So no chance on this one. Sack will still try, go for a shot, but Lupri is there to defend.
Again, with that pass earlier, it was like I said, there was no communication going on here. They're playing their normal plays, but without that communication, without them talking to each other, they're not really connecting up as they should. The lads just need to tweak it a little bit. Otherwise, as we've been saying all along, E-LVETS could very much cause an upset here.
Flav with a nice bump to push RQ out the way. Is there going to be enough? No,
Flav's
they're
doing it again on
each
Zafir.
other. What are you guys doing? That was a perfect chance for Zafir to come in and support the shot, potentially get a goal right now. Then they double commit towards the shot, and Flav will be able to recover it. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not a massive deal, but still a major, major offensive mistake from Servette that could have cost them big time.
And another one there up in the air. Sack still jumping across the width of the pitch. A double commit there when he should have really been rotating back. Servette are holding on purely because of their skill, of their caliber of players. But it shows when you're not playing as a team effectively, like there, Flav and Sack both going up, it brings you down. They've got to realize this. Even if they get the win today, this needs to be improved drastically for next week. Good shot from Otto.
Nice pass in from RQ as well to set it up. It seemed like Flav had a bit of a defensive going on. He relied a lot on Sack to be able to clear this, but he was a little bit too far out of position. And there we go, E-LVETS back into evens once again. Every time Servette try to pull away from the E-LVETS side, every time they gain a lead, it just gets returned immediately. Nothing, no major advantage gained by the Servette side, even though they really should, in theory, be able to do very easily. They do get the offensive pressure off the kickoff once again. Sack with a nice chip that goes a little bit inside, but RQ keeps that control. Zafir to follow through. All three players there as the main line to defensive. Flav completely misses the follow-up. Sack will try and recover, but it seems too little too late at this point. Never mind.
Nope.
Setting up Zafir to get that second shot and get Servette back in the lead.
So Lupri here is so unfortunate that he had set that up. In those situations, Jay, you naturally think, oh, I've got to get a touch this. You don't want to roll across the goal. Again, why communication is so important. RQ being there was the better choice. It's all hindsight. They can just propel themselves forward from this. Servette, though, starting to get it together.
Absolutely textbook from these boys. It kind of reminds me of the old backboard style of meta. Just get that first one off the crossbar, let the second player come into the center as you baited out the first initial defender. Fantastic from Servette right there to put that third. Finally a 2-goal lead for them this time. It was E-LVETS that had the 2-goal lead in that last game. Sack now tries if he can make it 4. He's on for it. Otter just about pushes it away. And Lupri returns fire back over to the orange half. Servette has to maintain his control. It's the ball out alongside the wall back here towards the corner. Let's return back over inside that box. They are going to have to be on the back foot for the moment in time, but for Servette, that's fine. If they can just stop E-LVETS from getting a goal, and it puts them at 0 chances to win this game, and we'll go to another game 5. 2 game 5 back to back. What a week it's been so far here on the TCS eSports League as they maintain control towards that corner. Servette will be on the offensive front foot, and they're going to have absolutely no plans of conceding it anytime soon. That being said, though, a shot does get taken, it does get pushed close, but no cigar for the boys in E-LVETS.
So the problem for E-LVETS right now is that they're just struggling to deal with the speed that Servette are now putting out with these big power hits where they're just touching the ball perfectly, essentially, and then being able upon threatening maneuvers like that. It's slowing down E-LVETS, and it's sort of scaring them, Jay.
Scaring them quite a little bit. Obviously, they are on the back foot when it just comes down to general favourites. Obviously, Servette were picked to win this one. They got their full lineup with no subs, so Obviously, that little bit of anti-confidence going to get to you a little bit in most scenarios. Certainly, that would get to me if I knew I was playing against one of the best teams in all of Switzerland. And they are going to make their names known as they go once again off the backboard into the last 60 seconds of this game. Pass back in from Sack to Servette. Gets to the corner. Challenged again by Otto, demos him straight out. The ball back towards that midfield. It's Sack to Flav, picks up the 100 boost, but challenged by Lupri, gives him enough to get back on the rotations. Otto leaves it for Lupri, but that may have been a bit more of an awkward play for
I think
him.
you're expecting the bounce on that one, to be honest, and it rolled so perfectly, they just went under him.
Either way, it does allow a chance to get set up back towards the orange side and get a shot down on the blue net. 40 seconds left. Arku challenging, allowing Otto a chance as he goes back over towards the corner. Arku pushes it over to Lupri's sake. Can he get a flip reset off this wall? It'll be unlikely. He's going to try for it, not quite the same way. He's getting pushed over to the other side by Servette. So again, just time stalling, keeping the pressure up, keeping them away from the E-LVETS goal. And E-LVETS will try their best and get so far, but in the end, it's Sack to score one down towards Servette off the backboard. But it doesn't matter too much. 10 seconds left on the clock. There's no way that E-LVETS will be able to get this and a kickoff goal, especially as Servette keeps putting that pressure back and only 3 seconds remain. No time to clear, no time to shoot. It's game 5 for our best of 5 Bacon. Twice in a row, we've gone the full distance today.
Yep, and remember back in game number 1, we were like, today looks like it could be Sweep City, where the top teams just absolutely dominate and go on through each and every time. But no, well done, Monks and E-LVETS. You lads are putting on the pressure. E-LVETS, I know this last game, this game number 4 wasn't as strong for you. You just got to try and structure yourself around. And once again, it's all because they weren't being that nuisance and not going for these very close interceptions. They weren't seeing the boost away from Servette, and they weren't just going in for bumps. They weren't being that nuisance that they were before, Jay. And it was allowing Servette to play the style they want.
And we'll be able to get to game 5 as a result. Start this series off on the back foot, but now against the E-LVETS. Can they deny the upset victory? We're about to find out here as game 5 comes to fruition, and Lupri gets an early shot on target, just about missed, and the defense does get the clear back out towards that blue half. Fantastic stuff coming through from the Servette side as they keep this ball rolling here towards the box. Sack completely losing all control of his car. Actually, there's no one back in the defensive flag. We'll be able to rotate, get it away. But look at Lupri, still going to get a shot off the crossbar. Otter out to challenge Sack. Will keep that one rolling here, but Servette's going to be able to put a boomer right back down the other side. And a high-octane start here to this 5th game. E-LVETS and Servette getting their equal shot opportunities off towards that backboard. Lupri actually gets credited with the first official shot by the game. Sack coming through, all 3 players missed. That opens up a nice big gap, and Flab is happy to take it.
E-LVETS just absolutely crumbling here, of course. Look at that double commit from Lupri and Otter. The lads, I don't know where they've gone in that last game. It seems to have just demoralized them, Jay. They've just got to pick it up now. They know they can win this. 1 goal is nothing here. Get a response now, and you're still in the driving seat.
It's only in the early 60 seconds as Servette have gotten this opener. Very few times we've seen teams pull ahead by 2. I think we've only seen it twice throughout the course of these last 5 games, so this is still anyone's matchup. Servette taking the ball into that blue half. It's Sack to maintain that control. Otter will try and challenge alongside the rest of his teammates. All towards that midfield. Flab will keep it on target. Lupri a bit of an awkward position. Now Servette's going to take a shot. It's going off the backboard. Secondary touch has got to be put away by Arku. And he will push it to the right-hand side. Still Arku trying to defend it as it gets dangerously close towards that net. Challenging in the Servette side. Keep that ball in the midfield. It's Arku with a shot on target. Servette will take it away. Alongside Sack, who puts it back into that corner. Going to try to see if they can work off the pressure once again. Servette back into the centre. 3rd man coming through. Flav is going to completely miss. Goes back to Otter and Lupri. Back to Otter. Sack disrupts. Lupri goes in for a shot, and Servette is able to just come through in the defence.
So much better. The link-up's perfect from E-LVETS there. Keep it up, lads. Put that pressure on. And there we have it. The equaliser. E-LVETS stepping up to the challenge.
It's only Otter, the man that put that first on the board for the E-LVETS side. An absolute mastermind here for the E-LVETS squad. Back to evens here for our penultimate series of the night. A nice start coming in from Servette, however. They gain control of the kickoff. Goes back towards that blue half. Servette, good challenge in. Flav, ready and waiting off the wall. Watch it, a good shot in center. Try to put this away. This is dangerous for Sak. He's going to try to take a good shot off the backboard. It will go. Servette coming through to keep this one rolling. It's dangerously close towards the net. So Lupari has to take it away and we'll push it just far enough to the side. Ball goes into that corner. 2 minutes and 30. We're halfway through a final game of the series, and the ball's getting dangerously closer. A slow shot being put down by Servette. Little momentum. Finally, a chance being taken for E-LVETS. You can see they put the ball to the midfield. They didn't actually chase it through. They didn't go follow it through all the way to get the counter attack set up. They're playing a little bit scared against Servette. They know that they're here to play, and they themselves may have regressed a little bit.
They have indeed. It's once again that pressure is causing them to jump at everything. Arku going up for that when Lepre chasing onto it. Lads not communicating. It's almost like they're wanting this too much. You see it even at the top end, don't get me wrong. But it's when they're all trying to get the victories themselves, not as a team. They're going, what can I do? How do I win this? Instead of how do we win this, Jay?
Demos going through towards that back line. E-LVETS trying to do their best. Turn this to their favor. Double commit missed off the backboard, but the one man down on the ground is able to defend against Otter. Still Lupri and Arku going to come through, and both players miss the ball. So Fair will take a dribble, but it will be pushed off towards that midfield. So we keep the train rolling. Otter, Aerial, Lupri leaving it for the next man back. Arku will be rotating back to defend it. Slav maintains that pressure. 60 seconds left on the clock. All tied up. Another overtime may be coming our way, Bacon. As all the players try and find anything that they can. Sack back in towards the fair. Passes towards the left-hand side, trying to stall for time potentially, but they still need a goal to try and break the cycle, break this tie that they might be able to find. Not quite, too far wide to the right-hand side.
Yeah, ticking down, and once again, nerves, massive part of this. Good stuff from Sack, just absolute nerves to steal from him, of course. Servette more used to these situations.
No way.
What? Arku from here, look. And of course it was that mistouch, but he's going to be so happy to be credited with this. Oh.
I almost believe that didn't happen. I almost wanted to believe that didn't happen, and now Servette off one little own goal mistake may have conceded it. 30 seconds left. They got to get this kickoff going well. They've got to get an offensive play. Flav and Sack both in towards the corners. The Fair going to try and keep it rolling, but no one's back in the back lines. If Arku scores this, then surely it stands to reason that E-LVETS will be the victors of this series. 15 seconds remaining. Sack, good shot. Servette fakes it! And Servette by a last-second lifeline.
Sack redeeming himself after that one. And what a good hit. Arku just not ready for that, not positioned, cannot get anywhere near it. Sack taking the perfect hit that he needed to. Thread the needle above the player and below the crossbar.
5 seconds remaining. And it looks like it will be an overtime for us here today, Bacon. Maybe not. Sack going to keep it rolling. Otter just going to let it go to the floor. So there we go. Another overtime. So that will not die now. Potentially. You never know. A lot of anticipation hangs in the air, but the ball going right into an open net. Never mind everything I said, because E-LVETS make one big mistake. Simmertel Servette made one big mistake on that penultimate goal. And there we go. It's 3-2. Servette going to be able to win the game 3-2 and the series 3-2. What a match that was.
Upset has been denied, but how close they got to the golden goal situation of a Game 5 overtime. E-LVETS, it shows Rocket League, one little error and it can cost you. E-LVETS still looking very good. I still think even if they go down to that relegation, tournament, they should still come back out on top. This is a team that has caliber. It was shown today that they can fight with the big dogs. Just keep working, lads. Keep improving. Season 2, that's when you're gunning for land.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance for the E-LVETS going forward in the next season, potentially, as you say.
I think
This does
coaching
mean-
is actually something the lads, definitely a lot of the teams in the Swiss sort of scene on the lower side, coaching could be a big factor of like getting a third party come on in and maybe look over the VODs with the players, because there are some very simple areas, like I said, they're not talking, where it's that more mental side, which having someone to talk it through with you could probably help. So maybe that's an avenue which these players can look through, definitely to go into next season to, February time.
Yeah, all that is possible in the future. Unfortunately, as it stands for the E-LVETS, they will not be winning this particular series, and that does mean that, well, I'm pretty sure at this point they are guaranteed to not be making top 4, Bacon. I believe that's currently the case. But one team that are fighting for their final chance is Silent Gaming. Actually, they are the best team that have their chances right now as they look forward against the Lausanne side. It's a very tough challenge. If they make it, then oh my god, is the only words I can say. But we'll find out whether they can do. It's been a nice day of upsets, so don't go anywhere, because the TCS eSports League concludes with one final series right here next.